I see you struggling with what to share online, struggling with how to show up online, and really how to take your digital marketing efforts to that next level that really help you stand out so that you can stop beating yourself up over what to do, how to do it, where to do it, and what to talk about. And that's why in today's episode, we're going to talk about your live streaming strategy and really what it means and what all of the social networks are doing to point us in the right direction. So let's dive into it.
Can't say I never tried to warn you, and I'm just trying to tell you.
Welcome to the Live Advantage Show. I'm your host, Ed Troxel from edtroxel.com, where I help real estate agents and entrepreneurs with their digital marketing efforts, specifically with live streaming video. That's right. We take a Facebook live streaming approach to help you effectively show up more here online on whatever platform you choose. But we start with Facebook because it's still the number one platform, love it or hate it. And it's still the place where most people check in throughout the day. So if you're joining us and you're here on the live, be sure to say hello. If you're listening to this later on the replay, whether it's on the podcast or anywhere else, be sure to let us know what your thoughts are on your digital marketing and what you're struggling with. What we see often is people struggle with what to share. You don't know what content you want to be sharing or how you want to be sharing that out. You have the Facebook, you have the Instagram, you have LinkedIn, you have YouTube, you have Clubhouse, you have all of these places, Twitter, let's not forget Twitter. You have all these places that you are signed up for, that you're supposed to be showing up on, and that maybe you are showing up, because you're using a scheduler to post one thing out on all these platforms, but you still feel a little lost. You still feel a little off your game, and you're trying to figure out what's going on and how you can get to a place where you feel a little bit more consistent and have a little bit more of a strategy. So today we want to talk about your live streaming strategy and why it's important. So don't run away yet if you're thinking, I don't want to be on camera, Ed, I'm out. No, stay tuned because we're going to be talking about live streaming options, meaning video and audio. So stick around because we're going to talk about that as well as what Facebook is now releasing that's going to help you. So when it comes to marketing, your digital marketing efforts, I should say, here in 2021 and beyond, you need to have some kind of live streaming strategy built into your marketing efforts. It's going to help you be more consistent with what you're sharing online. It's going to help you have a starting point and allow you to then repurpose your content, which means reshare it in a different form, most likely, on a different platform. Because right now what's happening is you're spreading yourself too thin. You don't really have a video strategy, a live streaming video strategy. And that's going to have some kinks in there. That's going to have you thrown off because you're doing all the things, but you're not really feeling any momentum from them. And so with live streaming, whether it's video or audio, you should have that built into your plans right now. If you don't, you're here, so you're going to start implementing that after today's episode. And if you need resources, of course, you can always reach out anytime on social or on my website, edtroxel.com, because I have a chat over there and I can point you in the right direction for resources, because this is what I teach my clients, how to create a show, more specifically a live show, that they can not only hit all of the points on social, but also in podcasting. So we're going to talk about that. When it comes to live streaming, let's just take some facts here just to kind of remind us of the importance, because you're probably hearing live streaming, you're hearing live video, going live, all of these terms, but maybe they're flying over your head. Maybe you're just thinking, I don't want to learn one more thing. I don't want to do one more thing. And I'm here to help you step back for a second and understand that it's not necessarily doing one more thing. It's taking a look at the bigger picture, understanding what needs to be done, and being able to simplify what you're currently doing so that you can have more of an effect and impact online. So what that means is, when we think about the statistics here, when we look at the statistics, I should say, 80% of our audience would rather watch a live video from a brand versus reading a blog post. 80%. That number is probably higher now that we've gone through the pandemic, or finishing up the pandemic. 82% prefer live video from a brand than a social post. So that means they want to see video versus just a regular selfie or whatever you got going on. You also have the enjoyment of video increased sales intent by 97% and brand association by 139%. After watching a video, 64% of users are more likely to buy a product online. Why is that? It's because they get to see you. You get to see me. You get to hear me. You get to feel my energy. You get to know a little bit more about me without ever having to actually tell me, hey, Ed, I'm here. I'm listening. I'm tuning in. No, you can just show up anytime and be able to see me and feel like you know me. In fact, I was just listening to a podcast episode yesterday with a real estate agent who is the top 1% in her area. And she built her business off of video. All the video she's been doing on Instagram has allowed her to take a step back and not make any cold calls because everyone's calling her, because they already get to know, like, and trust her through her video content. And that's what we want to really emphasize today. Whether you're going to go live or not tomorrow, that's not really the question. The question is, are you implementing a live streaming strategy in your digital marketing efforts? And if you're not, today is the day to start adding that in. Why? Because when we look at all of the social platforms, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, Clubhouse, all of these places now are incorporating what? Live streaming video, and in some places, such as Clubhouse and now Facebook, live audio. And that's what we're going to talk about today and share my screen for those who are watching the video version of this. So Facebook has now officially launched their audio rooms. And that is key for many of you because you've been thinking about having a podcast, but you haven't pulled that trigger yet. And you haven't been able to jump into creating your show. And so with Facebook bringing back, I'm going to say bringing back because way back when live streaming first started, we did have live audio. They took it away for whatever reason, but now it's back. So technically it was out before Clubhouse, but the design is very similar to Clubhouse. Anyway, Facebook has now launched this so that when you want to have live streaming audio only so that you're not showing your face on camera, you now have the option to do that. Now, it might be still rolling out to your actual profile. So if it's not there, be patient. But this is something to, again, pay attention to. You're using these networks, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, and you're using them for free. And then you have to think about not only what are you going to post, but what do the platforms want you to post? And when you think about Facebook, for example, they want you to go live. They want you to live stream. That now includes video as well as audio. And even before the audio rooms, there's still a way to do audio only. In fact, that's what I teach my clients. If they don't want to be on camera all the time, there's workarounds around that. But understand that your video is going to be much more powerful when you show up, because people want to know, like, and trust you, and they want to buy from you. So that's why it's important for you to make that decision that you are going to be the face of your brand, of your business, and be able to show up as only you can. So that way people get to know, like, and trust you more and feel like they can talk to you without ever meeting you. That's the cool thing about doing live streaming and having that built into your digital marketing efforts, is that when you start to go places, whether it's online or in person, people recognize you. They already understand who you are and what you do, and you feel like a rock star, especially in your local community. So really embrace live streaming here in 2021 and moving forward, because it's really important. So Facebook now has this live audio room available, and that's where you're going to be able to host your live audio chats, which can then be your podcasts. So when we think about what the networks want from us, what our goals are here in our digital marketing efforts, we got to look at a show format. Because again, we're trying to go for the consistency here. We need a plan, we need some consistency, and we want to know what to do before, during, and after we actually take that action, right? So the reason why I teach my clients how to create a live streaming show is to go ahead and get that plan that allows them to know what happens before, during, and after a live broadcast. Now, again, a live broadcast can be video or audio. In my case, I like to teach the video aspects because, again, you're taking one action, creating a live streaming video, and then you're able to pull from that later to repurpose in different formats, which can be dun, 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 audio for your podcast. So when you think about what your goals are right now, what you're trying to accomplish, let's say it's creating a podcast, I want to have you take a step back and think a little bit bigger and ask yourself, what if I created a live show on Facebook and put my podcast out that way? Then you're hitting live streaming on Facebook, which will help you with your organic reach and the audience that you already built up over there. And then you have your podcast. So now you're not having to do two separate shows. You're doing one show with one action on one platform that then you can repurpose later. Sounds pretty crazy, right? It's really simplifying your marketing efforts. And you can do this in as little as, I'll say 3 minutes, depending on how you want to go about your show, but oftentimes it's about 10 minutes a week or so. So really think about your strategy and what you're really wanting to accomplish. And when it comes to being consistent online, showing up with content that you already know you're going to share with your audience and know what you're going to talk about and how you're going to take that one piece of content and repurpose that elsewhere. That's what really makes this impactful. And that's what I love teaching my clients about when it comes to going live and being able to not only show up on Facebook, that's our starting point, but show up wherever else they want to be without having to reinvent the wheel and do all of this all over again. So today I want you to make note, give yourself permission to, at the very least, start planning your live streaming strategy for 2021 and beyond, because it's important for you to show up live for your audience, whether you have 0 members to your audience right now or hundreds of thousands. It doesn't matter. Start now, because I don't want you being left behind later. That's the crazy part when it comes to technology, is that we're always trying to catch up. Many of us are always struggling to catch up. This is your time to embrace the technology, use the tools you already have available to you, get in front of the camera. Yes, there's going to be some work that you have to go through. Again, reach out if you need help, but really start focusing in on your live streaming strategy and how you can use live streaming video, specifically Facebook Live. I'm just going to push that out there because it's the easiest route, but live streaming video to help you with your marketing efforts here online, not only for social, But wherever else you show up, podcast, website, whatever it is, you can take this and work with that. So go out there, crush it, start writing down your ideas, your goals. If you need help, head over to my website, edtroxel.com, send me a message. If you're on social, send me a message there, and we'll go from there. And that way I can get you the right resources. And if it's a good fit, we can work together and help you with your live streaming strategy and get that up and running in probably less than 5 weeks. So have a great rest of your day. I hope that this was helpful and that you enjoy the content. If you have any suggestions for future episodes that you'd like me to touch on, please send me a message and let me know, and we'll see what we can do. All right, go out there, write down your goals, and remember, show up, deliver, and engage live. Take care, everyone.